WVUA-FM, Tuscaloosa.
And welcome to the student section this Friday night on WVUA 90.7 The Capstone. My name is Jaylon Brooks, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Rowles and Brady Grogan. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing quite swell.
It's a good night. It's a good night to be here.
I know that's right. I know. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm still a little bit excited about what just happened. I know last week we hinted at having a surprise guest joining our show, and I'm proud to say that our man Connor came through. Connor, do you want to kind of tell the crowd what took place?
Yes. So last week we teased that we had a special guest that was going to be on our show, and I'm proud to say we have an interview with rookie sensation, the number 3 overall pick out of Auburn, who plays for the Houston Rockets, Jabari Smith Jr. And I'm just want to say I really appreciate him coming on, and this is a very exciting opportunity.
If he listens to this, I want to say thank you so much. That was actually some of the most fun I've had ever talking to him. Thank you, Jabari, so much for giving us your time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
I know honestly, just thank you, Jabari, if you're listening. It was a life-changing experience, and we're only up from here. So thank you guys. But with that being said, let's start the interview.
Hello, this is Connor Rowles with Brady Grogan and Jaylon Brooks, and we have a special guest here today. It's NBA rookie, 3rd overall pick, Jabari Smith Jr. with the Houston Rockets.
Hey, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for coming.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
So we know you have a big game tomorrow against the San Antonio Spurs, and so we just want to do a little quick interview, ask a couple questions, and so I'm going to start things off. So being your first rookie, in your rookie year, you've been a part of a lot of big things, but the All-Star break, it's been a pretty prestigious thing to be invited to be a part of. How was it to be first off, be able to witness the NBA dunk contest and three-point contest, but be able to play in the Rising Stars Challenge in the Skills Challenge?
It was real fun because that's something I've been watching since I was however years old, 5 years old. So just being a part of it, being in the same hotel with other All Stars, you see Dame walking around, you see just different All Stars walking around. It's just being a part of it was kind of crazy to me, but I had fun. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, and I know you stayed with your not stayed, but you were able to hang out with your college teammate again, Walker. How was that?
That was real fun. It was real good to see him, spend time with him, eat with him, laugh with him, just catching up, talking about our first half of the season, and just how different it is from college and how much fun we had in college, and just all of that, man. It was just good to catch up with him.
Going off of that note that you just said, what has the transition from college to the NBA been like? How's it been like?
It's very different, but it's still basketball. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different things, a lot of different aspects. I would say the game's a lot more mental at this level. And it's just, I feel like the players are obviously better. But just the attention to detail and how much better the players are, I would say that's the biggest difference.
Right.
I was just going to ask, who has been your biggest mentor on the team so far this year? Who's kind of taking you under the wing for the season?
I feel like our team is so young. It's been a lot of different guys, just telling me things from here and there. But I feel like Eric Gordon was real helpful when he was still with us. Boban tells me a lot.
Boban.
Is Boban really the nicest guy in the NBA? Is that true?
Yeah, nicest guy in the world. I promise you. It's not even over-exaggeration. He's just naturally just a great guy, honestly. Was
he one of the more funnier teammates you've been around?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. He's pretty funny. He's kind of naturally funny. He doesn't know when he's being funny, but he's hilarious.
He's just there.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
So, though I know you've gone against great competition so far. You have Damian Lillard, you have Joel Embiid, who I think is MVP, but you have Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who has been the toughest player you've had to play against so far this season?
I would say the toughest. There's so many. The toughest, I would say, it's either between Giannis, Joel Embiid, or I would say There's probably people out there wouldn't say this, but I say with like Paul George.
Oh wow.
Like those, just because like how simple their games are. Like they're not gonna try to do too much or do stuff out of character. They let the game come to them, and they just basically do whatever they want. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. Like when you talk about Joel Embiid and Paul George, a lot of their stuff is just it's a quick little move and get to their spots. So
Yeah.
I know that can be a little troubling sometimes.
So,
Definitely.
speaking with all the talent in the league, who's your top five, or not top five, but who's your top candidates for MVP right now?
Top candidates for MVP. I would say you have to throw Jason Tatum up there just for them.
Yes, sir.
Them being like what? I'm pretty sure they got the best record in the league, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
They're half a game behind the Bucks right now because the Bucks have won like 16 in a row.
Okay, so I go to the Bucks then. I would say Jason Tatum, Giannis. I would definitely throw Luka in there. Jokic for sure. And one more.
I think you're missing somebody.
And yeah, I guess that guy in Philly, whatever.
I'll take it.
But
I'm just playing. Joel Embiid, yeah, for sure. I think I'm top five.
yeah, Brady.
Being in like the city of Houston, have you met any like other stars that have like reached out to like talk to you and hit you up while like you've been part of the Rockets?
You saying like other like what do you mean stars?
Like like Travis Scott, used to show up to like the games a lot.
Celebrities.
Like celebrities, yeah.
Not I would say not really, but there's been a few people like I've talked to. James Harden, when he was here in Houston, I talked to him. I feel like he's not here, but he's still just such a legend to the city. So
Right.
I would say like him. I've definitely met Travis Scott. Talked to him or whatever. Trying to think who else.
What about any former Hall of Famer Rocket players? Have any
Yeah. Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh, that's
I met
awesome.
him. I got a chance to meet guys like Andre Johnson, who used to play for the Texans.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
A lot of different people, but I just can't think of them all right now.
So, since we're talking about celebrities you've met and stuff like that, I know the longest yard has been a very big staple in our lives, and I've known you've met. I think it was Michael Irvin and more stars from that movie this summer. Was it?
Yeah.
How was it like meeting some of those people that you grew up watching?
It was crazy because that's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it 1,000 times, so it's like just seeing him and him not only being in the movie but being like a Hall of Famer. It was just great to meet him and we was laughing about scenes in the movie and stuff. So it was real cool talking to him.
That's awesome.
Well, I have one more question before we wrap up. But feel free not to answer. But I'm just curious. With your first NBA paycheck, what did you splurge that on?
First NBA paycheck. I think I bought like a bag. Like I bought like a suitcase or something.
Yeah,
like
for travel.
I think I bought like a Louis Vuitton duffel.
Oh yeah, no, that's nice. See, that's what I like to get.
I got.
But so I've known you love you guys travel a lot with the teams. You've been to different big cities, different stuff like that. What's the biggest, your favorite city you've been to so far, and your favorite thing to do in that city?
Favorite city I've been to.
That's a good question.
This is a low key city, but I just like the vibe and just like how chill it is. Of course, I can say like Miami, LA, or whatever, but I feel like Dallas is just real nice, just because it's just real. Not a lot of traffic, a lot of good food. Yeah, I would say Dallas probably. Dallas or Miami.
Wow, that's really surprising. I would never.
Dallas. I feel like
Dallas.
Dallas.
Out of nowhere.
Dallas is a small market.
But Dallas is nice though.
Dallas is real nice.
So before we head out, I just want to get a quick little finals prediction from you. Who do you have going to the finals?
Finals prediction. Going to the finals. I would say the Bucks and the West is tough. You know what? I'm gonna go Nuggets.
Nuggets.
I'm gonna go Nuggets.
That's my pick.
The thing that I don't see about the Nuggets is they have the back-to-back MVP, but they can never get over the hump. And you think they're going to be able to just come out of nowhere like that?
And I feel like the difference with this team is you have a healthy Michael Porter Jr. You have KCP who has a championship, who's been there. And then you just add they just got Reggie Jackson. I feel like their team is like just so whole now. Like, yeah, their teams were good like when they were, still top in the West or whatever. But I just feel like this team is just like different. And you add them the years they've been playing together. It's like I think this year has to be the year. It's not any. I mean, they're clicking at the right time. I mean, why not?
That's true.
Well, John Morant does claim that he's all good in the West, so I wouldn't overlook the Grizzlies.
I would just say like not yet. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they were to make it to the finals. They're a good team. I don't got nothing against them, but it's like I don't know. The West is tough. I don't know. It's a lot of teams you can say.
Yeah, and that's my pick, the Nuggets right now. I just feel like that they're the safest pick for me, but we'll see what happens.
Well, before we go, I just want to say I don't want to be biased, but I have the Sixers versus, I want to say, Sixers Clippers.
Right.
Sixers Clippers.
I'm ready. I'm ready for my
would not make a lot of money.
Wait, you said what?
The NBA would not make a lot of money with that.
I'm ready for my Celtics Rockets NBA Finals. I'm seeing it.
Sold.
It's happening.
You, Jaylon?
Oh, well, my picks for the finals, I think you guys pretty much covered it. I said I'm going to go with, for the East, I'm going to go Celtics versus Nuggets. That's what I'm going to go with, actually. But we'll see what happens, man. It's tough out there.
Anything can happen.
But we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being able to come on to the show and talk to us. It was an honor to ask you a couple questions.
Thank you for your time, Jabari. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, and hopefully I'll see you this summer. Good luck tomorrow.
For sure. No problem. Appreciate it.
All right, and we just want to thank Jabari Smith Jr. for coming on the show. And with that being said, we're going to go to break, and we'll be right back after this.
WVUA-FM, Tuscaloosa.
You are listening to the student section here on WVA-UA 90.7. We are back. So we just finished up our Jabari Smith Jr. interview, and while we're on the subject with the NBA, we might as well stick with it, right? So what are some NBA storylines that are catching your attention right now?
So right now, I'm actually really falling in love with the New York Knicks. I think Jaylon Brunson is really, I think that was a very good pickup for them. I know a lot of people hated that signing.
It's looking really good now, looking like a steal, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, the contract, he's playing like a max player. And
because everyone was clowning the Knicks front office about signing Jaylon Brunson to that huge contract. But he's been putting up numbers like the main guy.
They're 9-1 their last 10.
Julius Randle, I feel like he's not at the level as he was his All-Star year. But last year he wasn't really great last year. So he's taken a really big step back up to where he was. But I think the team is better. I think Josh Hart has been a steal.
I still don't understand why the Blazers gave I can't comprehend why they gave him up for Cam Reddish. I'm sorry. I get Cam Reddish is like this offensive plug-in guy and stuff, but I just think Josh Hart is just such a great glue guy.
I think it was more for Thibault because I think Thibault fits their scheme better than Josh Hart does because
I think I'd rather have Josh Hart than
I would honestly rather Josh Hart.
I would.
I understand that too, but I think the plan was just to get more length around Dame. And plus, if you notice, since Thibault's been over there for the Blazers, he's shooting the ball a little bit better than he was for Philly. He's got more of a green light over there. That's mostly what it is.
Yeah, but that could be a good thing and a bad thing, you know.
I mean, the Knicks definitely stole Hart, I think.
Yeah, right? No.
That is a great.
Josh Hart, I think. Well, I think he's playing a lot better because he's playing with one of his best friends from college, Jaylon Brunson. But
he also fit Tibbs' system.
He does. He's one of those hustle players that's willing to do anything. I mean, a lot of people. I don't want to say a lot of people this era. There are a lot of. I don't want to say pretty boys, but they like to be a little flashy.
Right.
They don't like to hustle like the way Josh Hart does, or like some of the players, like
he's just like a winning
PJ
basketball
Tucker.
player.
Yeah,
Like he just goes out and
gritty.
does the things that you need to do to
The
win
small
games.
things.
The small things.
The energy plays. And they get the people going, like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's provocative.
But
That's always that quote always pops in my head.
I think people still, like, even though we said like how good Brunson is, I still think people don't understand like how good Brunson has been playing. Like he's legitimately been like probably like a top like 3 guard in the NBA since January.
He's basically. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You can tap
He's
into
averaging all career highs. He's averaging 23.8 points per game, 6.2 assists, shooting from 41%, and is basically shooting 50% from the field. So,
I mean, just so people know that like the month of February, he was putting up 27 with 43 from 3. Like that is like high volume scorers who can shoot at high efficiency is like insane. He's shooting the ball from 3 so well this season, and it's been so efficient for this team.
It's crazy.
Would you guys, now looking back now, would you pick him over Randall for the All-Star selection?
Oh, I mean, I said on this show, that he should be the All-Star instead of Randall. I stand by that.
I honestly think he should have been in the 3-point contest instead of Randall.
Well,
Randall telling the story of how he
too.
was going to 3-point contest though was actually hilarious hearing him say. He was basically just like, I was already going to the weekend, and I thought I might as well go to see what I could do. And then like his kid, I guess, like told him that like he thought it'd be fun to like see him in like the 3-point contest. And then when he shot the ball so poorly, his kid was like said like he was disappointed in Randall, which I thought was actually hilarious.
But what's it called? Yeah, no, I would definitely love to see. I would have loved to see Jaylon Brunson at the All-Star game.
Do you think this Knicks team can win a playoff series?
That's a stretch.
I don't think it's.
I don't know because you look at they're the bottom.
They're the 3rd seed right now in the East.
No, they're the 5th.
Oh well, what am I? Okay, sorry, you're lying to me.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to either play the Cavs, Sixers, Celtics, or Bucks, and I
was
honestly
looking at Atlantic. Sorry.
I don't see them beating any of those. If they were able to move up to maybe to the 4th or 3 seed and be able to play a team like the Nets or like the Hawks, then
I think 4 is the highest they go. I don't think they catch.
I don't think they catch the 3
Sixers,
seed.
and the Sixers are playing well right now, so I don't think that they catch the Sixers. But I do think it's reasonable to say that they get the 4 seed and they can host like a home playoff series,
which they did 2 years ago, and they lost 3-1
to the Hawks.
I don't see them.
I had a lot less faith in that team than do this team. I would say, like, I think this team is like feels more legit. That team felt fluky a little bit, but this team feels very.
This
legit.
team feels more legit, but I'd still take the Cavs over the Knicks.
Wait, so what if the Knicks are the 5th seed and it's Heat become the 6th seed and they match up? Who are you taking?
No, it would be the Knicks versus the
4.
Cavs.
Is it 4?
The 4 is the highest.
So it goes 1-8,
you're right. It's
2-7,
you're right.
3-6.
They're playing the 4-5.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say
it's probably. I think we're gonna get a Knicks Cavs first round.
That's what it's looking
like. The way the standings look like, it looks like it's gonna hold around that.
Preventing like no injuries. Well, I mean,
I think would be a great playoff series because there was the whole thing about Mitchell. Like, should the Knicks make the move for Mitchell?
That'd be a good storyline, yeah.
And then they end up not making the move for Mitchell. They make the move for Brunson. They bring him in. Brunson's now their guy. Leads them to the playoffs. They get the home playoff series against the guy who everyone thought they should have traded for. I think Brunson a little bit. It could be kind of like, let me show you that I'm the guy that everyone thought that like they should bring Donovan Mitchell to do. Like, I can do those things. Like, I think that would be a good playoff series.
Can I be honest? Like, looking back at that trade, I think the Knicks did the right thing. I think you kept your valuable assets.
I do too.
You didn't get Donovan Mitchell, but you have one of the best off-season signings in a while. What we all think he maybe should have been an all-star. I think they did the right thing. Like
I do too. I think they made the right moves in the offseason. Like their team is playing very hot right now.
Right.
I do agree. I think Donovan Mitchell's a better player than Jaylon Brunson.
Right.
But I think Jaylon Brunson fits that system more than what Donovan Mitchell would.
He brings more playmaking.
He brings more playmaking, and I don't know. I feel like him going to Villanova really helped out his like attention to little details and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I think him and the Jay Wright connection really helped him progress as a basketball player. So I think he can fit in any system really because of the way he plays the game.
If the Knicks get a superstar, like where do you put them then? Like just one, like a superstar.
I know you guys aren't gonna like to hear this, but I was hearing if someone was throwing this out there, if James Harden does go back to the Rockets and leave the Sixers, does Joel Embiid come on the market for the Knicks to make a move for? I heard people talking about that this past week when like the James Harden stuff had resurfaced about them potentially swooping in on that if this offseason that happens.
I heard that like if the Rockets get the number 1 pick, then they would trade it for Joel and Harden, but I doubt that would happen.
No, I don't think the Sixers would agree on that.
Yeah, I really think Joel's a for lifer, but
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, but it's gonna be weird because this offseason is gonna be the real. Because if Harden leaves, it's going to be the real the way.
Like if Harden leaves, does Embiid become available?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think we try to pivot and try to do something with that Tobias contract.
Yeah. Because for me, Embiid feels like someone who's going to be in Philly for most of his career.
Hopefully.
But right now, it's a weird situation because say with the whole Harden situation, if we win a championship, what does that stop? Harden got his ring, so why not go back to the place where he spends most of his time in Houston, which I think would happen. But if we don't win, it's like, well, I don't know if I can win here if this was our best option. So I think we're in a tough spot to keep Harden right now. So it's a little worrisome.
I mean, I think Harden, at least when he went to the Nets and the Sixers, he said like he wants to win. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he goes back to Houston if there's like a playoff disappointment. Like I don't think he like just like leaves this. But I think Harden wants to win.
I think he wants to win for sure.
But see, I was kind of not sold on Harden going back, but then like. Even when Jabari said they're saying that there's no relation there, but I'm just saying like he's talked to him before. So I'm just saying, and
he's back in Houston a lot.
That's what I'm saying. So he has connections in Houston, and then like apparently there's reports that he really likes Jaylon Green, and he really likes his scoring ability. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw something happen there.
It's I feel like it's one of those things where it's like I keep hearing the rumors so much that like I don't think it's going to be true, but it's one of those things that I hear so much that I feel like it's just like going to happen.
Yeah, well, there's smoke, there's fire. That's why I'm like approaching this.
Like it's just like when you hear the rumors so much, it feels like there has to be like a little something behind it that's causing it to like keep coming out so much.
And like Jabari said, like he is the city, even now that he's gone.
Houston, I mean, Houston would take him back with open arms.
Oh, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
I think that has to be a factor, part of it too. Like I think nowhere, like in these last 2 teams Harden's been to, like I don't think any city has like embraced him. Like
well, I mean, I think the Sixers have embraced him, but not nearly as much as Houston.
Nah, like he did
a lot.
He was the face of Houston.
Yeah.
I think. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think if Harden does leave, I think that's going to be huge for Maxey because...
honestly, I think if he is going to leave, he's not going to leave. I think it's going to be a sign and trade. Yeah. Because I don't think he's going to do that to Philly.
I don't think for Morey, after what he tried to get...
Yeah, I think he, if anything, it's going to be let me sign you to a contract and then trade you for pieces. Because I feel like that would only make sense.
But I think just pivot back to the Knicks what we're talking about. For the Knicks in the playoffs... My biggest concern for the playoffs is Julius Randle in the crunch time. I think there's like a lot of instances with the Knicks where I would like Jalen Brunson to be taking the shot in like the last 5 minutes, and Julius Randle hucks up some shot that I just like roll my eyes at. And
I think they have a lot of players now that can make a last minute to go bucket. Like Josh Hart, we've seen he's hit several game winners in his career as well. So I think Jalen Brunson can get a bucket, and like I think he's capable of finding his own shot. Especially, there was a game, I don't remember which game it was, but he was just popping off in the fourth. It seemed like he was getting every single like crunch time bucket it was. So,
that's what I'm saying. Like I think he's such a great crunch time scorer, but I feel like sometimes Julius Randle doesn't have that. Like I know you're hot, so I'm gonna let you take.
He's gonna try and be that guy.
I feel like there's just like instances where he doesn't realize like how well that Brunson is playing like next to him, and he'll just kind of like huck up a bad shot in like big moments, and like going into the playoffs, that like scares me like a bit. I know like for the Celtics, for Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, it took them a while to figure out like who shoots when, like trying to figure out who's hot, giving them the ball then, and then now they're at this point where I feel like they've really figured out how to play alongside each other and get each other like looks in crunch time. And I don't think Julius Randle has like adapted that philosophy that like, hey, tonight I might not be the best player on my team, and I'm gonna let Jalen Brunson go take the shot. I haven't seen that from him, and that is my biggest concern for like their playoffs. Is that I think he could legitimately lose them a playoff game with bad shots down the stretch.
I think he's learned from last year's playoffs, or not
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. I think he saw how everyone was playing him and like how he literally was just
how he can't go right.
Exactly, and I think he was kind of exposed. And now that I feel like he has help, it's going to change him a little bit. But we'll see. That is an interesting point, and it will be interesting to see what happens. But
so I don't think they want a playoff series. I don't.
Okay.
They need more pieces. I think the two of them, Julius Randle and Jaylon Brunson, I think they're both great players. They're both not number one options.
right,
So
I mean, I would make the argument that Brunson is.
I think Brunson.
he's a complimentary player.
I think Brunson will. I don't want to say always. I think he's kind of. Did you hear what Paul George said the other day?
What did he say
Where
about him?
he took a step
Was it the
back.
JJ
and it was
Redick
like the
interview?
first-
It might have been, but he was
Yes.
he
To answer your question.
yeah,
Yes.
about how he realized how he wasn't the main guy and how on a championship level team. I think that's Jaylon Brunson. I think he can be the main guy for like a low level franchise like the Knicks. I'm sorry, but I think if you want to win, you he can't be your best player.
Right. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'm not making the argument that I think they're gonna like win the NBA Finals this year. Like, obviously, I don't think they're gonna make it out of the East, but I think that they are a competitive enough team where with that Cavs series, I wouldn't like confidently say that like the Cavs would win. Like, I think if they were in that series and the Knicks beat the Cavs with like home playoff,
I think that would surprise me.
I don't think that would surprise me that much.
I honestly think if it was a 7-game series, I would take the Cavs in 6 or 5.
And then aren't they
I would
just
say
now?
I would say 7.
They're just now getting Mitchell Robinson back too, because hasn't he been out for a good while?
The problem with Mitchell Robinson is you can never count on how long he's gonna be back
Yeah,
for because he's been in and out of the rotation his entire career.
And foul trouble. He always like fouls out too.
So speaking of like the playoffs and everything, the Pelicans. Well, actually, the Pelicans. They were They were the 2 seed before Zion's injury.
Is it time to hit the alarm on the Pelicans? Do you think?
It's time to smash the alarm.
Because
button.
my alarm from my teams right now, we can go around and say which teams you guys have the alarm for, but Pelicans are in that discussion.
The Lakers.
I'm not. If they can get healthy, I'm not worried. But that's why.
They're never healthy.
LeBron's out for
what
like
I'm
3 or
saying.
4 weeks now. So,
But like they have a lot of depth and pieces and young pieces, so I think they're still got a chance to keep afloat until they.
But
can,
the thing is, you say if. When's the last time LeBron and AD have played like the bulk of the season?
I think
bubble,
if AD plays the rest of the season,
which
like,
is a hard ask,
without missing like more than like 1 game in a row, which is a very hard ask and a very big if, then I think they are like a play-in team and they could win a play-in game. But if I had to bet on it, I would say he doesn't do that, and I would honestly say the Lakers don't make the play-in.
Well, good news is Anthony Davis is probable versus the Timberwolves, but LeBron James is probably out for another.
He's out for like 4 weeks, I think. I think he gets reevaluated in 3 weeks.
It's definitely it's a big injury.
I think it's been lingering for a long time.
Yeah,
so the fact that like he finally hit like the tipping point for this, I think it's going to be a longer recovery. Like he could miss like a month. He could miss over a month.
But this is probably what
foot
Anthony
injuries
Davis.
on like
this is the worst
guys,
time.
But
big guys with foot injuries, I feel like they always linger longer than like people expect. So I would not be surprised if he doesn't play consistently for the rest of the season, like consistent games.
I think LeBron's a freak of nature, and I feel like somehow he's going to get back in time.
I mean, I could see that happening.
I just
But
like
also-
the last 3 years he hasn't. He's been the freak of nature, but he hasn't been the like Superman that he's always been. Like LeBron has shown like he's starting to become injury prone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
injured a lot, and that didn't used to be the case, but it is now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play a lot the rest of the year, just because the way they
I'm
word
the
that
same
foot
with that.
injury.
For me, it's like there's 2 things I take away from this storyline. It's like, one, I think this might be good for Anthony Davis. One, we saw him getting kind of upset, like the whole like LeBron, like he just wanted to win, and it seemed like he was kind of upset about the whole LeBron scoring, like getting the number 1 score storyline, and it seemed like he just wanted to win and he wanted to be the focal point. Well, now this is his opportunity. LeBron's out. You got depth. You got a team. This is his chance to step up. I'm not saying
I don't think he wanted to step up. I think he just wants to win. Like
Yeah,
I think
he
he got
wants to
the
win.
taste of that championship, and then the disappointment that's like followed it since in LA. I think that's just really like worn him down.
Well, I don't know, because I'm not in his camp or anything.
Yeah,
but
we're obviously not in the locker
there's been
room.
reports that him and LeBron have been butting heads, and so
I
maybe
think I would say it's because he wants to win.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and it's focused on LeBron scoring.
But I don't think LeBron being out fixes that for him.
I think it does. I think it does a little bit.
I don't think it does.
I think
he
wants
LeBron on the court. He just wants LeBron to win.
He just wants to win.
He just wants to win.
I think it's a little bit of both because I think there's a little bit of pride, but that's my take. I think there's a little bit of pride, and he's hearing what people are saying, and he's hearing how injury prone he is. I think he wants to remind everybody that he can do this. He can still be a number one guy without LeBron. But I'm not saying he probably does want LeBron there, but I still think he favors he's going to take this as a challenge.
I think the Lakers have to take a serious look at if AD plays super well down this stretch, moving him this offseason.
I would move him this offseason.
I would blow up the majority of this team.
If honestly, I'm trading him to Chicago maybe for Zach LaVine.
Because I think I wouldn't do that. I think everyone knows LeBron is going to leave. LA. It's going
eventually.
To happen.
It's going to happen
when his
Bronny.
son gets drafted, which is in 2 years. Next year, Bronny will be in college, and then the year after that, someone is going to draft Bronny, and LeBron is going to go. I think it's safe to say LeBron's going to go.
LeBron's last year is next year with the Lakers.
You think
for sure, unless they move him before then, which I think is a possibility. I think the Lakers should seriously consider moving him because there's no way when LeBron's son comes into the NBA, the way he got his contract to line up with that and has intentionally made it so he has that available. I think that it's set in stone that he's going to try to play with his son. That's super important for him.
Well,
he's going to play with the son.
Well, I think I don't think anyone's arguing that, but
No, but I'm saying for the Lakers, you have to accept that and realize that next season is going to be the last year with him. And the way your team is, you're not winning the finals, so
you're not going to do anything.
You need to get value for these guys because otherwise you're going to be stuck with that. When Kobe was aged out of that team where they were stuck in purgatory for 5 years. You could be stuck with that for longer.
I don't think there's a lot of trade value with LeBron right now, honestly.
Well, I don't think you can trade LeBron.
I think you could. I don't think
a lot of teams are going to give up, if anything, really.
LeBron will trade himself, but I don't think he'll just.
No, they're not going to get what they need. They're not going to give him a superstar or anything like that because
you're not going to get a superstar, but you can get a young player and 3 first-round picks.
I don't know. I don't even know about him
for the tail years of LeBron's career. Because who knows how long he's going to play? Is it just that 1 year with his son and he's done?
We're not going to argue that he's an amazing player. Even still now, he's one of the best players in the league.
But his value won't be that high.
His value will maybe be a first or two and a second-round pick.
Move.
If
Anthony Davis is more valuable.
If I'm the Grizzlies, I'm picking up the phone and calling about LeBron. I think they fumbled the bag with the KD. I think if the Grizzlies got KD, that team would be way better. But if I'm the Grizzlies, I am trading my assets for LeBron.
I think there's too
for
much,
that year.
I think players realize Memphis still have a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah,
and I think LeBron would be a great spot to put him there.
But who are they going to trade for him?
Yeah, and plus
they're not going to give up Jaren Jackson.
And also, all those
I would give up Bane.
I
would trade Bane for LeBron.
And also, I don't think LeBron would go to Memphis because there's no vets on that team. He's not going to just go with a bunch of young guys.
It's a team that can win. They're second. They're second in the West right now.
But you can't just have. I don't think LeBron. When has LeBron really truly just rocked with a bunch of young guys and not asked for more veteran help towards the trade deadline or any situation?
I mean, when has he been around good young guys John Morant? He's never Kyrie. When he went back to Cleveland, Kyrie was still young.
Yeah, Kyrie was
Kyrie was young, but that was
about all I think John Morant might be older. He's probably older now than when he first went with Kyrie.
John Morant has a lot of stuff going off the court. Do you really want to team up with someone like that?
I can't comment.
I don't know if any of that's true.
We don't know.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying.
So we're not going to comment on any of that.
No, that's what I'm not going. I'm not saying we talk about it, but I'm saying there's a lot of stuff surrounding John Morant. Do you really want to go to a situation where
that's so far down the line though, where I feel there's so much uncertainty where I'm not gonna take that into consideration.
But that's what I'm saying. Just based on what you've seen so far from a player, I know he's still young and things can turn around, but I don't think that's a full confidence to I want to go there.
Even I just think that the Timberwolves even could make a move for I think there's a lot of teams that would I think call and talk about LeBron. Toronto, I think, has been a team that's been shown to make the moves.
Toronto might
I don't think
make LeBronto a good thing.
I think Miami is another team that would make a move.
No, Miami won't do that.
I think Miami would make that move.
I don't think Miami would do that.
I think I don't know. We'll see when times happen. But
I think a title desperate team would do that though.
Yeah, I do too.
But I think even Denver would make that move. Denver owns the majority of their picks. You could give them. I don't think Denver's in love with Michael Porter Jr. I don't think that like they are set that the guy's going to be there forever. I think you give Michael Porter Jr. and 3 first-round picks in the offseason. If that happened, I would not be surprised.
Wait, Michael Porter Jr. 3 first-round picks for LeBron?
I would not be surprised.
If I was the Lakers, I'm taking that.
Exactly, but if I'm the Nuggets, I'm also taking that.
Oh, you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. But the Nuggets aren't going to give up 3 first-round picks.
The Nuggets are not going to do that.
I would 1,000%.
The Nuggets are not doing that.
Yes.
No.
Yes. You're trading a guy who has back problems, who you're not even sure is going to play 8 years in the NBA.
How many games
and
did he play this season?
He's been playing a good amount this season, but I'm not sold that he has a long-term.
Maybe trade Michael Porter Jr., but not 3 first-round
You're not
picks.
trading 3 first-round
I
picks.
would give up 3 first-round picks.
Maybe
for
1 or 2.
Sure.
Maybe 1.
For sure. If they fall short in the playoffs
a
this
single year.
Yes, because I think if you win the chip, you can make a move to bring his son in. I think like you could legitimately sustain success.
I'm not trading 3 first-round picks.
Trade.
Unless you're super.
Trade for Bronny.
Go for Detroit.
I don't think he goes to. Not.
I mean, they have the most picks. It'd probably be OKC. It'd probably be
go to OKC.
Yeah, OKC.
LeBron, and then you don't have to go anywhere. You can still have your assets.
It'd probably be
and
OKC.
You could draft Bronny.
Utah, Utah.
I think Denver.
He's not going to Utah.
I think you guys are overlooking how
the environment is just
great
not
of a
right.
fit Denver would be. I think Denver would be an absolute great fit. LeBron is aging. He gets to play next to one of the best playmakers of all time. He gets to cut off ball more. I think that would be a great spot for aging LeBron.
I could see Denver doing a Michael Porter trade straight up and maybe like a second-round pick or like maybe 1 first-round pick, 3 first rounds. I don't know. But I will say
not going to happen.
That's what DeJounte Murray was.
He was 2 first-round picks.
DeJounte Murray is like what, 28 years old?
24.
LeBron is 38.
I would give up more assets
38.
for LeBron. DeJounte Murray for sure.
I'm not doing
for
it.
sure, no doubt.
38.
I mean, dude, you can make the argument that Kevin Durant is just as injury-prone at this point in his career as LeBron, and the Suns gave up 4 first-round picks, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson for KD. Like, I think Denver.
But the thing is, KD's going to play more long term. LeBron already said after 1 season he's done.
That's what
with Bronny.
He has 2 more years, and if they bring in Bronny, and I think that team could win a chip. That team could, without a doubt, win a chip next year if they put LeBron for Michael Porter Jr.
It's not gonna happen.
I would absolutely love to see that happen.
How many picks does Denver have?
They haven't made any moves.
Okay, they haven't made any moves. How many picks do they have?
I would assume it's just their own picks. They own their picks.
They're not getting Bronny.
Because they're not. They're too good. That's what I'm saying.
No, but you can trade to bring in Bronny. Like LeBron can tell to bring in.
I promise you.
Everyone's going to be gunning for Bronny.
Everyone's going to be gunning for Bronny. So no one's going to trade.
I think if Denver wins a chip, though, I think they can make that move happen.
I don't.
Because I think Denver can win the chip.
They're not.
With LeBron moving in.
I think a lot of teams could win with LeBron coming in, but I don't think Denver's going to be able to pull that off.
I would make that move without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Thank God you're not a GM.
No hesitation. I would pull the trigger on that move.
If the Sixers traded 3 first round picks.
The end goal is a ring. The end goal is the ring. And this is
it's not a guaranteed ring though.
I think it's LeBron and Nikola Jokic with Jamal Murray.
They're both ball dominant players.
They're both ball dominant playmakers. They pass. They see the whole court. Those two alongside each other would be beautiful basketball.
I'm not too sure about. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with you on that.
I don't agree with you.
Yeah,
I don't agree with you.
But I understand the case you're making. I understand the fit, but I just think the way that I don't think it's.
You're
possible.
putting LeBron next to a potential 3 straight MVP.
I mean, hey, I see where you're coming from with your argument, but hey, we'll continue this right when we get back. But right now, we're gonna head to break, and you were listening to the student section on WVUA 90.7.
WVUA-FM, Tuscaloosa.
And we are back at the student section, and we're going to continue our NBA discussion. So, got a little, I wouldn't say heated, but I would say it got a little I guess argumentative. I would say it's the best word for it.
Yeah, I mean,
but good discussion.
Playful argument.
All love.
All love in the studio.
All hate, no love.
So this brings us to our next topic. What do you guys think about these Clippers? They just acquired Westbrook from the buy-in. Brady, you weren't here last week, but me and Connor, we talked about it for a little bit. We were both really high on the Westbrook signing. We thought it might work out. We thought it might be a little bit more motivation since he was playing across the street. But now it turns out the Clippers are 0-4 since Westbrook has been a part of the team. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
So, like with me, I think Westbrook should be coming off the bench, honestly. I think he's a great player for the bench. I think it's just not his time anymore as like the main focus. But he played with Paul George before.
Right.
Paul George had his best season.
Right.
I think they made so many moves. Bones Highland, who's a great player. You still have PG and Kawhi. I think Miles Plumlee was a great pickup for their backup center. They have no holes in the center position now.
It gets a little, sometimes for offense, gets a little bit weird when he's out there.
I mean, of course it gets a little. He's like one of the weirder players in the league.
That left hand though.
The left hand, stroke that
money.
thing, cuzzo.
What were you saying, Brady?
I was just like, I think the Clippers. I loved the moves to make Terrence Mann a starter at like the trade deadline. I liked that they were gonna move him into that spot, but then just to bring in Westbrook right away and move him back to the bench where he's now getting around like 20 minutes a game again. Mm-hmm. I was really disappointed by that. I think he's shown throughout his career he's a much more valuable player when he starts, and he plays so much better. And Westbrook, when he was with the Lakers, played much better when he came off the bench. Mm-hmm. So I don't really understand why you took these two guys and put them in like the opposite spots of where they flourished recently.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I think that the Eric Gordon move has been pretty underwhelming.
I think the more they play, the better it's going to be. Because I think he still is that shooter that you can just play off ball. He'll know his role.
Also,
hopefully, I haven't loved what I've seen.
I feel like the last couple of years with Eric Gordon, with just let him do his thing. I feel like, I don't know, he's been just jacking up crazy shots his last couple of years. But I think he's going to get back to his time when he played with Harden, and he's going to take the right shot. He's going to make the right move. I think he's a great role player to have.
I mean, the biggest positive for the Clippers that you have to be happy about is Kawhi Leonard has played
he's
like the majority of games for a long stretch now, which is a good sign moving forward for the playoffs. Like that is what you need. As long as Kawhi is playing,
that's what you wanted with load management. That's why you started.
This team can definitely compete for, like when you said like they were like your pick to like make the NBA Finals. Like if Kawhi Leonard is healthy. And 2 years ago in that playoffs where he tore his knee or his ACL, he was like shooting, I think it was like 65% from the field in the playoff game. Like he is honestly absurd at efficiency.
When I was watching the Raptors play the Sixers in that series, and every time Kawhi got the ball, it literally felt like, I know this might be an exaggeration, but I swear it felt like I was just watching a reincarnation of Michael Jordan. Like, just steal the ball.
Not crazy.
Just steal the ball every time. Doesn't matter. Just dunk, three, wet, fade away, corner. Like, there was a moment where, do you remember he was driving down full court, and then Ben Simmons, who's a pretty big dude, tried to stop him, and the Kawhi just bounced off of him like it was nothing. Just sent Ben Simmons flying, and he just pulled up and fade away too.
I remember watching that series, and I think it was Game 3 or Game 4 when we blew them out, and Embiid had that windmill dunk in the flying celebration. Kawhi missed a shot, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's human."
Yeah, that's what
he's
I'm saying.
human. And then he goes on to dominate the series.
And I'm pretty sure that game too. Didn't he like single-handedly start making them come back?
Yeah,
a little bit?
They came back because of him.
That's what I was saying. Like I literally. LeBron and Kawhi, like 2 times, were probably the only 2 players where I've just been like, oh my God, this is not human. Like the way they take over games.
So if we're talking about the way that people take over games, I think of LeBron, I think of Kawhi, I think of Steph.
Yeah, Steph too.
I think of Lillard.
I think of Lillard. I think of Giannis.
This past month and a half, like
Lillard's been that guy. Have you seen that Denver Nuggets with double? Like, remember they went to like double overtime or quadruple overtime?
Quadruple overtime that game. That was the game. Who was it? Rodney Hood hit a game winner in the 4th overtime.
Was it in the playoffs?
Yeah, it was in the playoffs. That was honestly one of the great. That was the year they made the Western Conference Finals and got killed by the Warriors.
When you look back at times when he went crazy, I can only remember that playoff game. What was it, in the bubble?
Yeah.
When Lillard was going stupid, and Austin Rivers, after he missed one shot, he just started praying, saying thank you.
Yeah.
Because he hit back to back crazy threes.
Those last 3 step backs and then just the pull up. I don't know if you got the game. Like No, they like. He didn't get the game winner, but he like to tie it to get.
He tied the game in regulation. Then hit a big three to make it a 3-point game in overtime, and then hit another three to tie it in overtime.
He has, at least for me, one of like the most iconic games I've ever watched was when they played OKC.
Yeah,
and that little game
I saw
6.
That live. I watched that whole game by myself, but
game 6, bro. That deep 3 over Paul George.
I remember I was watching it. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you like go make a move?" And it's like, "I guess we're going to overtime." And then he drills it. I'm like,
Damian Lillard
"Oh
has
my god!"
Always been like my favorite non-Celtics player. I have his jersey. Whenever like I got asked for like Celtics tickets for like my birthday, it'd always be for like when they play the Trailblazers, so I can watch like Dame live because he's just always been like just so fun to watch for me. And just I love that like recently I feel like he's been getting more love from people for like the scoring like stretch he's been on, because this is legitimately like an all-time scoring stretch that he's been on. I think recently
scoring Blazer now officially. I think
is he?
Oh, I think so. I think he's like first all time because didn't he pass
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it was like about a couple weeks ago actually, but I want to say he definitely broke a record for scoring on the all-time Blazers list if he's not all-time already.
I believe it. I think
I would believe it.
I think he is their leading scorer, which is, I mean, incredibly impressive for him. I think, and he had like
Damian Lillard is the leading scorer.
Yeah,
he had a recent interview where he talked about James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and he talked about like the loyalty thing and how he said like we've seen Russell Westbrook be on like 5 different teams in like the last 5 years, and how James Harden like left to go win the ring and now has like it didn't pan out, and like Brooklyn was like looking all bad, how it has panned out, and how he's saying like they don't want me to win Portland because they'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
And I think what people I guess don't necessarily realize sometimes is like all these guys changing teams, like chasing the ring, all stuff. They're not guaranteed to win.
No,
like these guys aren't guaranteed to win the ring. And Lillard, I think, understands that like legacy. You don't need a ring to have a legacy.
I feel like Kevin Durant is losing his legacy by every team he goes to.
The more Kevin Durant moves, I feel like the less engraved he's gonna be, because in order to like be immortalized, you need to have like diehard fans.
Like Kobe.
Kobe has so many fans who will go like argue to the end of the earth that like Kobe is like top 3, like that he's like that guy, and like how much they love him. I think Lillard realizes that if he like keeps these Portland fans like if he stays loyal to them, they will stay loyal to him after his career.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
He will like then be. I think there's a legitimate chance like later down the line, like he will be talked about in higher regard than Russell Westbrook. Just because I think the loyalty that his fans have to him.
The thing with Westbrook is he couldn't really help most of the moves. A lot of the time he's been traded.
And also,
I mean, like he demanded a trade from OKC.
But also,
he demanded the trade from OKC, but like. Then Houston traded him. I don't know.
Did he demand a trade or was it mutual?
He demanded.
I think it was mutual. I think it was mutual.
Yeah. Because he saw the direction they were headed in.
Yeah.
He was like, I just came off an MVP.
Because there's no way that Russell Westbrook would do that franchise dirty. Like,
I mean, obviously he didn't do them dirty, but he saw that the team obviously wasn't going to be as good when they made the Paul George trade, and then they like mutually decided to move in a different direction. But I don't think that it was like they wanted him. I think if he wanted to stay, they would have let him stay.
Possibly, but I don't know, because they signed him to a ridiculous contract. So remember he was getting 50. They signed him to $50 million.
Yeah. I just think Lillard understands that like legacy. You don't need a ring to have a legacy. I think he's setting up that legacy in Portland. I think a lot of people don't value that enough when they say like they want him to ring chase and like leave and all this stuff. Like I think Lillard understands like how important it is to have like a real connection with a city, which I think not a lot of stars have that. Like Giannis, I think, has it with Milwaukee. Embiid has it with the Sixers.
Has it.
Yeah.
I think Tatum has the city of Boston like under his arm.
Tim Duncan with the San Antonio, Dirk with Dallas.
Yeah, like that. And I think, but like when you see the Trailblazers logo, you're gonna think of Damian Lillard for a while.
Steph with
for a long time.
State. Like
it's just. I love it so much that like how loyal he is.
I'll tell you what, I think if Damian Lillard ever wins a ring, no one would really be that upset if he won. I think a lot of people
would be happy, and I think everyone would look at Dame in a different light.
Yeah,
his legacy,
would skyrocket.
And if he wins a ring in Portland, because he's already one of the best scoring point guards of all time.
Yeah.
I
think you could say that.
I think you could argue he's a top 3 shooter of all time.
When it comes clutch time player.
When it comes to range,
I think he might be the clutchest player, or not the clutchest, but he's definitely up there.
Because I guess people would put Jordan,
Kobe, Jordan,
Dame Lillard's up there.
When Dame takes a shot in clutch, I assume it's going in.
IT for a little bit. Don't forget IT before he got injured.
He had that 1 year.
Yeah.
He had 1 year, but Dame's been doing this for a while. And when it comes to the range of his shooting, I think him and Steph are the only ones in like they're the only ones.
I honestly think,
and you could
Dame has better range.
Above. You could say his range is above.
I think
Dame will pull
Dame has better range,
farther.
But Steph is a better off the dribble shooter.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. I feel like I feel like Dame's a better set shooter, but. Yeah, Steph is just a better off the dribble shooter, but
I think Steph's offense that he's in also like Kerr wants Steph to take more like running around.
Yeah, I think that's what makes a difference is Curry his ability to
move off
ball makes him the better shooter.
I think part of that is coaching though, because I feel like the Blazers are asking Dame to be like the point guard to bring it up to do all this, whereas Steve Kerr kind of has realized that he can like use Draymond in weird ways to get Curry like moving off ball.
It's also with the weapons that the Warriors have too. Like
I think it's just the weapons, the players they have around him, the coaching. I think all of that. Like Steph has definitely like, obviously he would be good wherever he goes, but I think Steph has definitely had the benefit of the guys he's been around, which I don't think Dame Lillard has had quite as much.
Yeah. And before we start to wrap this up, I have one more topic I wanted to ask you guys about. It's the Kendrick Perkins like stat padding. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on that comment and like. I'll just start with me. I just think it's just Kendrick Perkins being Kendrick Perkins.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I just think like, what are we talking about? It's like, I think literally Kendrick Perkins. They literally have him, and then I don't know if you guys play the newest 2K, but they literally have Kendrick Perkins like trolling to start beef and just saying nonsense. Like that's his goal in the game, and so like I just feel like that's what this comment was.
Yeah, I think it was just to be different. I mean. You look at...
I think he does that a lot, too.
Russell Westbrook, that year he averaged a triple-double. I think that was a different level of stat padding because everyone let him get the boards.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Everyone let him do all this stuff. But with Nikola Jokic, I feel like a lot of the offense is he gets rebounded and he throws it up. So a lot of it's like Chino Hill's offense. So I feel like that's where a lot of it comes from.
But I feel like he doesn't even look at his stats. Like he's like, I got that. Cool.
I think he plays basketball like fundamentally like perfectly, honestly.
I think the Nuggets also need like every single like statistical number he gets. Like they they trust him and like they want him to like be putting up these numbers.
I don't think it's stat padding when you need that to win.
Exactly.
I think it's more stat padding if it's you're gonna win or lose, but just get as much numbers as you can.
I want to send my love out to JJ Redick. I think he's like a great analyst, and the way he called out Perkins on First Take, I absolutely love that. If you guys have a second, take a second to go listen to JJ Redick take apart Kendrick Perkins. It was absolutely beautiful, and I loved it so much.
I like JJ on First Take too, but also it's just like
JJ. I think JJ always does a great job.
I think JJ Redick is one of the better analysts.
When you're looking at like NBA player to analyst, look at JJ Redick, not Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah,
JJ knows what he's talking about.
What do you guys think of like Matt Barnes as an analyst? Because
I like Matt Barnes too.
Keeps it real.
I haven't seen Matt Barnes as much recently.
Recently
I saw him on NBA Today more like a year ago.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him as much.
Recently, it's more of I feel like podcast with him.
Yeah,
the guy who's gonna take like a step into that. I think CJ McCollum. Like he's been on First Take like in the Pelicans.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Patrick Beverly too.
Patrick Beverly.
I like Patrick Beverly.
When Patrick Beverly was on like
Chris
the shows
Paul.
for like the week like last off.
After like Chris Paul's a cone.
Yeah.
No one can guard Chris Paul. Like, no, Chris Paul can't guard no one. They're just going at him.
And then ironically, Dame Lillard treated Pat Beverly was like, "Yo, you need to chill."
I like when like these NBA guys like go in and they're not scared to like kind of take shots at each other and call each other out.
Yeah.
And one thing before we go, I just want to say, Dylan Brooks, man, it's hard to watch someone that bad play the game of basketball and think they are that guy.
And
like,
talk so much trash.
What he said about Draymond Green, about how he's a nobody, I don't know like if I can really take him serious.
Hey, Dylan, you're shooting under 40% on the year. I wouldn't be talking to this Hall of Famer telling him he's a nobody.
I'm pretty sure that he's averaging all career lows, if I'm not wrong.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
If I'm not wrong.
It's not career lows because he's had bad seasons when he was, but it's definitely like downgrades from last year.
Right,
I just know his offensive bag is horrible. His jump shot is horrible.
His defense gotten worse.
His defense isn't bad. He just fouls way too much.
Worse,
it's just
worse than
it's just like aggressive.
Really?
Yeah.
It's unnecessarily like over the top, and he bites at things he doesn't need to bite. He takes too many chances.
He'll hit you in the nuts like Donovan Mitchell.
I mean, he got a fistful of nut. Like,
yeah, no, it's bad. It's really bad.
Well, with that being said, I think we're going to end it right there. Thank you guys for tuning in to the student section on WVUA 90.7. Y'all have a wonderful night.
WVUA FM, Tuscaloosa.